Hey, what's up, guys? Max here. As we are approaching the end of the month, I kind of wanted to give some thoughts between the two newest champions that were introduced in January of 2025. We got Okoye and we got Gentle. I think these are great champions. I think they're overall really nice additions and fun. Now, if I had the opportunity to get a 7-star out of these champions, and who would I pick? My best option would be Okoye. It's just because I like her in snare. I believe that's how it's pronounced, and that gives me an opportunity to deal with a large amount of champions, and not just a specific champion, but kind of like how Gento is being described. And yes, he is a great counter for bullseyes, but I don't know. I feel like Okoye provides you a little bit more just out of these two champions for the year of 2025. So let's get into some gameplay. I try to lower the volume. Hopefully it doesn't sound too horrible. There we go. It's not too bad. But with her extended combo, which is really nice. So starting with the medium and then just going light, giving you up to basically 2 combos, and you're at 30 hits and then 45. The sweet spot is to be at 50. So by the second combo right here, and then you're going to want a heavy, and then you lose some of your hits there, which is fine. And then what we're going to do, we're going to go for a special 2. That's kind of at least what I noticed to be a pretty good rotation. Unfortunately, he, okay. So we lost our combo, but all right, we were able to at least refresh it there before we lost our combo. But I feel her play style, as we get more time with her, unfortunately, the way my testing goes with these champions, as I'm testing them and as I'm learning them and just back in, I figure out new mechanics, new features. When it comes to Battlegrounds, Alliance War, the 2 probably game modes that get the most attention right now. Questing, not so much. I think she's going to perform really well. As long as your opponent is, as you can see there, it's not immune to bleed or it's not immune to shock. And yes, she can overcome that, but ideally all the damage, if you look at that, almost 40% of the damage came from those 2 debuffs right there. And this was over 500,000 health in 44 seconds. Very impressive. No recoils, you can see it, no boost, and nothing at all. And it's just getting familiar with her play style, knowing some of the features that makes Okoye really nice. And ideally, like I said, her combo meter, let me actually bring it up so you guys can see it. Her combo meter, here we go. And the reason why I said 50 is the number you want to be at, and it's because of this description right here. So, she gets, here we go. She gets a vicious. So when the Okoye combo meter reaches 50, she gets a 60% vicious. This increases the potency of damage debuffs by that given number. So her bleed and shock are the debuffs that she really applies. Those are the strongest ones, and that's why I was referring to the 50 as being the number you want to focus on. The other thing you saw me do really quickly is the heavy attack combo meter. So it consumes 20, but it refreshes 10 personal bleeds and shocks. And when you refresh them, once you've hit 50 and you have the vicious active, it's going to refresh them at a 60% potency increase. So again, giving you a bit more attack, a bit more damage. Now, one thing I went for the special 2. I could have gone for the special 1, but I felt like I was just focusing on these two features on Okoye just to promote the most damage. This one, I think we're going to try to focus on the special 1. So we are going to go for 15 hits. And we're going to go for the 15 hits again. And unfortunately that we just got it. And then now we have the endurance. We have the, let's see if we can refresh that. Perfect. Ooh. Come on. Oh, this is some bad gameplay right here. We lost our... I was trying to have her heavy me, but she did not heavy. Okay. That's fine. I was trying to hurt Proca heavy so I can counter her heavy, but it didn't happen. But yeah, here we go. Not the ideal like rotation gameplay that you would want to see. Still mistakes happen there, but 40% still damage was the bleed and shock. Now 56 seconds, 500,000 health. And ideally, again, as you're seeing this, when it comes to Okoye, and we're covering Okoye first because she is like, I guess I should say my favorite out of the two. And I'm gonna take you to a champion that evades quite consistently. It doesn't matter about the class advantage. That's one thing that benefits that she does have that doesn't lose any benefit. So class disadvantage, Nightcrawler is a big pain. Some people have Nightcrawler ranked up and some people don't. All you got to do is Dex, activate it in Snare, and we go to town. And we're going to have them see if we can launch as a special one just to show you. Launch it. There we go. And not a problem. As long as we keep it active, we just refreshed it right there. We lost I just want to show you the, let me see, let him activate his evade again. We refreshed it again, but look how easy. If any other champion dealing with that evade mechanic would be very annoying. Let him launch it again. And we're going to dex it to refresh it again. Oh my gosh. It's so good. She's so good. She provides so many options to these evade champions. And you're going to find that I think she's going to age, I feel, probably, hopefully pretty well because of that. So as Kabam, we don't know the champions that are going to be introduced in 2025, whether there's going to be some slippery evadey champions. And if that's the case, she's going to even shine even more. So this is going to be interesting. As long as they're not immune to like bleed and shock, which would be devastating for her because that's kind of where her damage is. Okay, so that's my favorite champion this month, Okoye. Okoye is becoming a bit more controversial, and a lot of it is on the features that he has because of the recoil damage. Now, in his awakened abilities, he does mitigate. He does have some options to reduce the recoil damage that you get, which is giving him high SIGs. Let me see if we can bring him up here too as well, so you can see it. And here we go. You can see the kind of how that works. So reducing the health loss when finishing a special attack at max muscle mass. Now, ideally, 15 is his max muscle mass, and you want to launch your special 2 at max muscle mass and max daunted because the amount of damage you do is just really impressive. So that is reduced to 50% at a basically SIG 200. While unstoppable, this damage reduces and increase by 50%. So ideally, it's 100% reduction if you can time the unstoppable as well with a high SIG 200. Now, here's the thing. Gentle, that will help him obviously offensively and defensively as well. So if he has a 15% muscle mass and he's not awakened and you think you're going to put him on defense, I believe he's going to be taking recoil damage on defense as well. So, I don't know. That's a very controversial concern issue. I'm thinking he's going to be a good defender, but then he has this mechanic built in, which really hurts him. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. It is really early in the weeks, the days of the game of these champions launching. So we're going to see how they age. But I don't know. I'm not seeing the light on this one. While unstoppable special attacks cost X amount per less power, this potency is doubled against skill champions, and then he gains the block penetration. So the block penetration, I think, is huge. Again, another feature on his defensive mechanics, because the more muscle mass he has, look at that, 56. So if you take a parry hit or block hit, from Gentle, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt if he's at max SIG. So I think this guy, you kind of want to have him max SIG for defense reasons. One of the things you want to, and how you play Gentle, as you're watching kind of my recap here. You want to go for the special one to get the 5 muscle mass. So he's at 7. Is it? Yeah, 12. I think 12 was the max, right? Or yeah, 12. Yeah, 12. And then what you do at this point, I'm gonna go for the. I think I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go for a special 2. Didn't KO him. I was hoping for the KO there. So I could have conserved. He has a mechanic built in that you can avoid losing the 10% recoil when playing him offensively. Okay, this is overkill, but we're gonna do it either way. And that the way you avoid the recoil on the special 2 when he's at 12 muscle mass is you want to end the combo with a light attack. That reduces the max muscle mass of 12, brings it down by 1. You lose 1, but you don't just lose 1 to lose it, to control the fight. You lose it and you actually apply a rupture. That rupture is, depending on the rank you have them, rank 2, rank 3, it's going to give a certain amount of damage over time, over a certain period of time. So Gentle deals with really good against the skill champions. He's really focused against skill champions. And if you want Gentle for that reason, and here's the thing. When it comes to Okoye, we don't really compare her to a lot, or at least me, I'm not really comparing her to another skill champion because she has that snare debuff, which makes her very unique and interesting, and sets her on her own, even though we can still compare her to skill champions. But with Gentle, he doesn't have, I would say, anything that makes him unique and special, okay? And so because of that, now we're just comparing his damage and the fact that he can counter bullseyes really well to other champions. And that's where he loses his traction for me, for my personal taste. It feels like, you know what? There's other mutant champions out there that just can do those fights as well. And I feel like are not hindered by the recoil situation. Because that's damage is nice, but that's really all he has going on for him. And like I said, maybe he shines in the defensive mechanics, but you kind of want to have him on defense at SIG 200. So let's work our way for a special 2. Let's go with the relic here, and then depending on, we're not gonna get to 12. Okay, so this is at 10. Still did a good amount of damage. Damn, we really got unlucky there with the RNG on the muscle mass. Now the muscle mass has a 30% chance to apply on its own, and I'm actually losing muscle mass as I speak because I ended with a light attack. So there's a little bit slight. I don't even say a little bit. There's an RNG on how you play this guy offensively. Sometimes in the testing that I was doing prior, I was getting muscle mass just by like my combos. Like I was at a 1 bar of power and I was like already at like 8 muscle mass in one of the tests that I was doing. And I was like, oh, dude, I'm not even going to go for the special one. I'm just going to go straight for the special 2. But he does have, I don't know. He does have he's not my favorite. And it's not that he's a bad champion. It's just out of these 2 champions this month, he's not my favorite. Let's fight him with Starkey. And let's see. I want to see if at max muscle mass, again, because we're hitting him. Every time you hit him, he gains a muscle mass too. One thing you got to keep an eye on is the combo. The combo you're in. Remember this one, he goes unstoppable. See that? So that's a good amount of time. Not only does his specials, okay, now this is where I wanted to test. He's at 12 muscle mass. Let's see, launch it. He lost 10%. Okay, he lost 10% of his health. That's what I wanted to see. Okay, and here's the special 2. He's going to be unstoppable. And he countered me. See, that unstoppable mechanic, again, if you launch a special 1 and your special 1 or special 2, which is what you saw, has a big hit combo, and you're at the 15, just keep that number in mind, 15. So 15, 30, 45, as that number increases, you got to be very careful on how you attack him. Let me sig him up. Let me awaken him because he's not awakened. Take him to SIG 200 and we'll do some testing right now. Okay, now we got him at SIG 200. So there's 2 things that are going to happen. If he launches his special while he's unstoppable, AI decides to do that. Maybe it's programmed a little bit more on doing that on defense. Who knows? I don't know the coding behind Gentle. And his block penetration, it's going to be huge. So we're going to use the same Starkey and we're going to just block 1. And again, this is going to be based on his muscle mass. So you're not going to want to parry this guy too much because his block penetration is going to get really huge, really big damage you're going to be taking. Okay, there goes the unstoppable. I almost forgot about it too. I forget what his special 2 looks like. Okay, at least they're easy to evade. But let me. Okay. The one thing I gotta say is his special animations. Wow. Okay, we're at max. All right, let's see if he launches it. He does it. 5%. Okay. Ooh, that block penetration is really big. So he lost 5% at, obviously that's kind of the number we knew that was going to happen. Look at that block penetration, man. Oh, and the counter with the unstoppable. Okay. So yeah, I think, okay, this is kind of what I wanted to see. Let me do, let's obviously that's a 4-star, right? Let's practice this with a higher rank champion. I'm afraid that, Starkey's, let's go with Starkey, just so we keep the same theme, because his health pool's not that big, but let's just see what that block penetration looks like when he's at like max muscle mass. But this is what I'm scared of, that he dies. Okay. It's not that bad. Look at his random heavies. Okay, it's not that bad. Yeah, you know what I'm noticing too is that even if he were to launch his special, which I don't know, his special 1, if you keep him at special 1, his unstoppable falls off too quick. I don't know, maybe that might be something they look into buffing in the future. But on defense, yeah, I thought his block penetration was going to be a little bit nicer. 56 points block penetration compared to an additional 56 points. His kid has none. So gained per muscle mass. Actually, I forget about that. I think it needs to be a little higher to be more annoying, so that you don't have to parry him a little as much. I don't know. I'm sure they tested this and they went back and forth. But having to put 206 stones, even I know in 2025 we're going to see 6 stones more available, and then also going on in the future. But I think having that a little higher would have been better, just to give him a bit more defensive features. Because he and his just kit in himself, I thought he was going to get introduced. Now again, that also doesn't account for the block penetration you can actually increase, which is 166 with the stat focus. So you're gonna be at like 200. That's just one thing I didn't do. Should we? You guys want to do a duel just to practice again and see what that looks like? So that's definitely going to be a stat focus you're going to want to run with him, especially because at max, obviously SIG 200, he's going to and max muscle mass, he's going to have that increase. Oh, I forgot about the second part of the special. Okay, so let's see here. So, 1300. 1300 is not something too bad. Okay. He died on the recoil. I don't know, man. No, I'm trying to make this guy a bit more justifiable for me. But I don't see it. I don't know, guys. Yeah, but again, those are the two champions. Those are my thoughts on the two champions this month. Gentoil, Okoye. Super cool champs. Again, very happy with the additions of the champions this month, and I'm looking forward to February. Hopefully, I have something that I'm like excited myself personally for in February. We'll see what comes out of February. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Well, these are my thoughts on the two champions for January, guys. Hopefully this helps you either reassure or just encourage, or if I've missed something, let me know in the comments too. Looking forward to like improve on these type of videos because, maybe it helps somebody, or if you're just kind of wanting to watch something over the weekend. Take care. Have a good morning, guys. Peace.